here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Zaggertastic stream. It is I, your friend, the one, the only Z, a single Zaggard, and I hope you're having a wonderful morning, noon, night, evening, whatever time it is for you today. Welcome back to the Dragon's Den, my friends, and it is another wonderful, beautiful, fantasy Fridays here in the Dragon's Den. How are you all doing? What is going on with the chat? I did not... let me try and fix that. Once I can... Thank you. Huh. That's annoying. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna have to go into this, see why that's doing that. Let's see. Yes, I know there's a black screen. Don't worry about it. Hello, Castell. Hello, Totally Not Creeper. I'm trying to... Let's see if this even works. When did this happen? Let's see. Actions. Let's see. We're going to simulate. Oh, okay. So it just needed to be
added to the horde.
That's a fake one, by the way. I simulated that. Not a real cheer, unfortunately. I just realized the chat is... I know, it's fine. It's fine. We're good. Okay, now we gotta try and figure out how to fix this. Hello, everyone. So, we know bits worked last time, because on Wednesday, when we were doing the Keyblades of Sausage challenge, it was working. So let's see if, let's see if some other ones work. Mute tabs, so that way you're not hearing myself twice. Let's see. How you doing? How you, Rebecca Barrett? Hello, Adro. Hello, Totally Not Creeper. Hello, everyone. How y'all doing? Okay, we're gonna gift a sub. We're gonna see if it activates. What am I doing? I'm trying to fix my alerts because for some reason some of them work and some of them don't. And so we're trying to see which ones work. Okay, so in chat...
Dragon Lord application accepted.
Oh, okay, okay. Subscription worked, we're good. Okay, so that worked. The subscription worked. But it showed my name. I don't want it to show my name. So let's... There's a new sub. Gifted subs. Is there any way to change that? No, it's not there. Sub counter lower, resubscription. Let's see now what would happen if I gifted, let's say 5. I liked and subscribed. Well, I'm talking about YouTube Twitch subs, not YouTube subs. YouTube subs are a little bit different.
Dragon Lord
Okay,
application.
it looks like it works on Twitch. It's a little delayed for me, so I'm seeing if it goes up on the stream. There we go. Yep. Maybe I'll get rid of the raw input because it can't let you show a message, or it won't show the message. So let's So I guess we can turn that off. So I gotta remember that. Where's my journal? I'm trying to write things down physically more. I feel like a usual at the bar here. Awesome, I love that. Okay. Oh my god, what did we just reach? We just finished something. Did we just finish our... Oh, did we get to... We got to the sub goal, I think. Fuck! I screwed myself over. Now I gotta have a whole bunch of sauce. Remember, let's see. Reminders. Sub goal reach. With an exclamation point. And then, let's see. Oh yeah, turn off. What do you call it? Turn off sub messages. Because it just always says raw input, and I don't know, that would bug me personally. Okay, so I think those work. So the subs work, the gifted subs work at the very least. We're pretty sure bits work. I can't test those because I can't give bits to myself, which is annoying. I'm the only one watching you. Adro is here too, Rebecca. Sadly, I'm working in the morning, so I'll have to go. Oh, okay, no, Adro is leaving. Just want to say hi and good luck with the D&D prep. As a DM myself, I have to say that it can be a pain in the ass. Yeah, it can, but my group is pretty chill. So they're usually like, oh, I'm pretty, yeah, I like that stuff. So it works out pretty well for me. So I'm not too worried about that. Okay, so gifted on there works. Let's see if they work on YouTube. YouTube. Can I super chat myself? I can't. Can I not gift memberships? I can super chat. This is a test. Oh my god. But he's not commenting. Yeah.
Gold added to the horde.
Okay, so that went to OBS. Is it going to show up on the stream? Okay, there we go. Okay, so it shows up on stream. Good to know, good to know. I had two groups, one French and one Polish. Polish went to get wasted and high in the first session. And French had an orgy first session as well. Shows the cultural differences. No, that's pretty normal. That's just D&D being D&D, I would say. I wouldn't even really say it's a culture thing. That is not my type of game, but if you guys love that, that's great. I legitimately would hate that if the whole first session was just people having an orgy or getting high and not like fucking off from the plot and be like, I don't care about the plot. Like I want to play D&D. I don't want to play Get High Simulator. So, but if you guys enjoy that, I'm not trying to shit on you guys. I'm just speaking my mind here. What's up, guy? Hey, I ain't your guy, friend. But how you doing, champ? Hi, Ukes. Is this a rerun? No. No sauces today? It's not Wednesday. It's only on Wednesdays, Mr. Yuki. We're going back to the Wednesday only stream. That way it makes it more special. Let's see. Okay, now that one works. Can I go to YouTube? Mute tab. Go to channel. Okay, that's... Okay, let's see. Can I gift? I don't see a way to... let's make a poll. Oh my god. Okay, the stickers. I can do the... I can't do the memberships thing for YouTube. I can join my... But I'm not going to subscribe to myself. That's so stupid. The only reason I'm doing this is because... At least I'm... Can I... If I click join, can I do... Okay. Okay, is there a way to gift? I don't see a way to gift on YouTube, which is not surprising. YouTube is highly not great with its live content. Well, I don't see a way to gift, so we're just gonna have to guess it works because we've tested all the other ones. They worked fine. Looks like we did all our tests. Dedge. I love to have a very well story-ridden D&D, but sometimes you work with it. No, you're right, Adro. You're right. It's not, you can't control everything. I actually have a video about this on my main channel. If you just go to Zaggard, so just take out the den in Zaggard's den and you'll find it. It's a video about the 10 rules I have for D&D. And all the things I do to keep that going. Because there's a specific way I like to play D&D, and I have very specific rules. And it might make me sound like a dictator. That's fine. I'd rather be a dictator and force people to follow a few rules, so that way I can have fun, than be forced to sit there for several hours just hating what's happening in front of me. Like, you wouldn't go to see a movie that you hated willingly. I'm gonna head out. Sorry. No, it's okay. Adro, do not be sorry you can't stay. I understand it happens. Cool glasses. Oh, thank you. These are gunners. So what they are is, if you can see, there's that yellow tint on the lens. What they do is they help block out blue light. And since I'm at the computer all day, I get a lot of blue light into my eyes. And I might need new ones because I've had these for a long time. They still work, but if I got new ones, they'd probably be like immensely better. And the reason I get the blue light, it's in our phones, it's in all our screens, it's constantly getting into your eyes, and it makes your eyes so tired. When you've been staring at a screen for like 3+ hours, I'm so used to wearing these now that if I take these off for like an hour or two, my eyes are like, it starts to give me a small headache. My eyes get tired, and because I'm thinking about having a headache, I'm getting that psychological, oh, my eyes are tired. But I'm so used to having these on that it just makes everything better. Hello, Bessart. Bessart. Gamer dude, yo. Usually I don't hate what's happening. I'm more like questioning my life and all the choices that led me to this exact moment. Clearly, you're more chill with it than I am, Adro. I'm just a different kind of DM. I like to, there's a story I wrote and I'd like to follow it. It's like, I don't railroad my players. I give them options. What I do, the way I set up my stories is there's an inciting incident and there's an end point. So we know how it's going to end and we know how it started because it's always going to start this way. I do railroad them for like the first 2 sessions because that's generally how long it takes to do the first mission. After that, though, there are different ways that they could end up getting to the end point. So like I'll explain for my Looming Shadows campaign. They went to they were following some cultists in their first mission, and they ended up at this old dragon rider fort that they found. And they were exploring through it, and they saw this cult had like taken over this old fort, and there was this like magical area because dragon rider forts were built on ley lines, so where the energy is most potent, the magical energy of the world. And they get to the end and they find this kind of demon character. This they don't know exactly what he is. They know like there's like these blood minions he has, because whenever they killed a minion throughout the fort, they would turn into this like goop of blood and it would slither away. And then they had to stop him from getting this power artifact, and they got the power artifact. And then at the end of it, this giant monster, this like 13 stories tall creature with 13 heads, 8 arms, like this thing just comes out of the ground, and they're like, oh fuck. And an NPC shows up and sacrifices himself and creates a barrier holding that beast in. But that beast then shoots a laser up to the top, and they can see that the laser is slowly disintegrating the barrier from top down. And so they know eventually that beast is going to be free, and it's first going to attack Wildfang and then destroy the world. So they know that they have to eventually stop that beast, and they are on a timer to stop him. I don't know where they're going next. I know where they are now. Right now they're in an underwater temple, which we built in a previous stream, which I am using, by the way. Thank you for that, chat. But right now they're in an underwater temple. And after that, I don't know what they're gonna do. I have plans for things to be happening in the world when they show up. I don't know how they're gonna react to those plans. If I like, will you yell ooh? And I'll subscribe if you yell ooh. 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 I'm not gonna yell it. I don't want to destroy my voice on that. I just use the built-in blue light filters on my devices. I don't like that, because sometimes I do want to watch it without sometimes I'll watch things without these so I can get the full color. I like the default color of a lot of like the color that people put into it, and with the blue light filters it changes the coloring. Plus I bought these in college. I've had them for like 10 years. They're still good. I had a friend who's just like you, and he's like, oh, it's such a waste when you could just get a free program, right? And it was back when I was playing a lot of like League of Legends, and it would help me kind of focus because I could see certain things a little more clearly because the blue light was cut out. And he's like, oh, just get this program, blah 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 blah. I'm like, I don't want to download a program. And he was like, oh, it's such a waste of money, such a waste of money. I've literally, like I said, I've had these for 10 years. They're still fucking great. Why is this still open here on the side? Hi, Optimus Philip. Why don't you just like and subscribe, Gamer Dude? If you need players, I'd be up for some good story-driven D&D. Unfortunately, Adro, I already have 2 campaigns going, each with at least 5 players. So I'm filled up on players right now. I mean, blue filters on my screen so long, so I guess that's why I did it. No, I totally get it. It's literally just a what do you call it? It's a preference thing. It's not a logical thing. I hate. Okay, so Windows has this thing where if I use the play on my keyboard or on my mouse, it pulls up this thing here. You can't really see it. I guess I could screen share real quick. We'll go to the reaction channel. Let's see. Where is it? Do I have a screen share one? Well, either way, it just has this thing, and for some reason it's not disappearing. Usually it fades after like 10 seconds, but now it's just stuck there, and that's really annoying because that's going to get in the way of some shit. So maybe if I close the music for a bit. Okay. Huh. That's weird. Let me see. Let me troubleshoot this real quick because this is actually going to get in the way if I don't. We'll bring the music back so that way you guys can listen to some chill music while we're doing it. Windows. Window show up on the top left of my screen when I pause or play music or a video with my keyboard. Usually it fades, but now it is stuck there. And is blocking part of my screen. Oh, I was planning on making them fight the small BBEG at the first location she was supposed to awaken in a sleep Tarask and force them to run from the island on boats. Interesting. That's pretty cool. Do you want to know what I did for my other one if you want inspiration? It's similar where there's like a thing that's going to happen. I love having a ticking time bomb. Like, we have to do this by this time, because otherwise your players don't really have a goal. They're just like, I guess we level up. I guess we do this because we want gold. I love giving my players an overarching goal. And so for my other one is they're in the city, and there is a device that the city has been building that it's using mithril, which is magical metal, and ent metal, which is anti-magic metal, apparently, to build this new thing. And it's called the Fluxagon. And they were hired to steal the blueprints for it by a rich person. And their contact had to go with them to stop a guard dog. Well, it turns out the guard dog was a giant mechanical golem that they had to stop. And so he had a device to make it stop. Like, it paused mid-punch. And they went in to try and look for the blueprints. And he's like, and then the guy who went with them was like, okay, you're going to have to go into this three of you are going to have to go in this console at the same time and activate these codes. And then it'll give me the blueprint, right? And he activates it. They activate it, and suddenly everything in the reactor room shuts down, the Fluxagon room, and then an alarm starts blowing up and goes critical mass started. Fluxagon will go critical in beep days and beep months. Evacuate the city before it is completely destroyed. And then he says, sorry, I was hired to steal this, and you guys are the fall guys. And he turns the golem back on, and it turns around, and they have to fight it while that guy escapes. And so now they know that the Fluxagon is out there. They know he took it. They're the fall guys. They have to find it, bring it back, and stop the reactor from melting down and destroying the city. And they don't know how much time they have left. And they only have 2 clues. First clue is that he stole it, and they can try and track him down. Second clue is they know the name of the scientist who created the Fluxagon, and they can track him down, and he might be able to track it with some technology or something, or build a replica. Whatever they decide. I haven't decided what they want. All I know is eventually the reactor is going to blow up, and the city's going to be gone. Hell yeah, love the idea. Literally, take any idea I come up with. I don't care. As long as you don't publish it, and if you do, say I thought of it. Even though it's not that original. A reactor blowing up, that's pretty that would never happen, right? My computer phone have blue light filters built into their OS, but I'm not sure they work as well as glasses would. The now playing window. I also use Windows, so I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It's now playing window that shows your volume controls on the left, and then it shows the pause, and then the skip to next one, go to previous ones, and then the name of the thing, and that shows whatever app is being used, which is Spotify right now. Task Manager, Windows Explorer. Oh, I gotta restart Windows Explorer. Oh, that was simple. That was easy. Can't believe that's all it took. What was that face I was making? That was weird. Oh, right. I was going to show you guys what's going on my... Where's shitty? There we go. Why are you over here, Mr. Obsidian? me just, sorry, this is, I need to. There we go. Okay, there we go. And then let me fix it for you, y'all on. And then why is the phone? There you go. Cool. Cool beans. We got it. We did it, chat. We did it. What the hell? Oh my god. Sometimes computers are so annoying. One second, I'm just checking something. Is stream okay? What the hell is happening here? Windows, did you? What's wrong with Windows today? No, it's still doing that. Let's see if that fixes it. Why? Oh my god, this is so annoying. I literally cannot fix an issue now because this is happening. And the only way I could fix it is if I restart it, and I don't want to restart. Okay. Okay, so that works. Vertical chat works. What is not working? What the actual fuck is going on? Like, I'm gonna go to the BRB screen. Is it Streamer Bot? Let me close Streamer Bot real quick. This is actually stream is not okay. Yeah, are you? Am I okay? I'm okay. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me, chat? Let's do a.
Bits added to the horde.
Okay, I'm gonna restart the stream real quick. We'll be right back. I hate the way YouTube does this. Absolutely not. You're completely inaudible. I can't tell if you're joking, but I'm going to assume you are. Got it. I can hear you. Okay. We're going to restart my computer real quick, see if that fixes the issue. I really freaking hope it does. So be right back. Okay, hello. Hello? Hello? Is it good? We gooch? Which one is on? PC? Okay, let's go back to the React channel. I don't know what happened there with OBS. It just decided to be like, no, I don't want to work anymore. That was flippin' insane. Unfortunately, I still have this weird issue on the left here, but that's fine. We're mostly going to be typing. Let me check on my calendar when our next session is. I looked at my phone and literally for 5 seconds, I just did something that completely different. Okay, let's see. This weekend, no D&D. Next weekend, no D&D. 3 weekends from here. I have D&D. Okay, so next one is a Looming Shadow session. So we got to do Looming Shadow. The week of technical issues. Also, Z... make it quieter? Yes, agree. Cool. Why is it so loud on this specific? Poopa poopa. I'll set it down. How's that? Is this good? Tell me if this is good. Bad, good, bad, good. Okay. Oh, you'll appreciate this. I got a really cool thing. That's a little too quiet. Fine, we'll turn it up to 30. 35, how's 35, Sam? So I got a thing from Japan. I got a mochi maker. And I made mochi last night with it. Now it's plain, it's pretty dry, but I like plain dry mochi. You bit the bullet. Well, I had to deal with Claire that if I did so, I had to deal with myself and Claire to how do I explain it? To be able to purchase it. Yes, I actually bought a cabinet as well. So I spent all day yesterday building that cabinet and setting up the mochi maker, which is why there's no short today. And so now we have I can make mochi whenever, but we're gonna do it minimum once a month. Sorry, yawn just hit me. We're gonna do it minimum once a month because one, I have to justify buying it by, using it. And two, we're just gonna bring that picture back up because I really like that picture. And I don't get to see this art enough. Where is it? And two, it would cost a lot if I was always making mochi. But I need to learn to not make plain mochi. Like, this is really plain. But to make sweeter mochi. Alternatively, it could just be a chunky decoration. That is true. It could be a Christmas tree. A clunky, expensive decoration. All right. Let's get to prepping for session 5. So anybody who's from my games, if you're in Looming Shadows, leave now. No spoilers. All right. Should I message my group and be like, "You're gonna go spoilered if you go on"? No, then they'll go on. They'll want to see. I like how Twitch is like, "He's now live." Yeah, I'm now live. Good job, buddy. You did it. Well, it's Stream Elements, but you know what I mean. Can't stay. Just wanted to say good luck. My internet's dead. Rip Alpha, dude. I don't know why. Why does your government hate you? Your government and the internet in your country hates you. Like, it legitimately hates you. Like, did you like cut off a gypsy in traffic or something? That's the only explanation as to why your internet just never exists. I shouldn't say it's your government, but you know what I mean. Like, you're like, it's notoriously bad. Pouring one out for alphas. You're right. Let's do it. I would do this if it weren't for the fact that I don't want to get my room. I was actually tempted to lift this off. Oh, did I ever show you the dragon? The little dragons I got? Here's the baby. And here's the mama. I'm planning to get another one from a guy online who, it's like this 18-year-old kid who makes them. He calls himself Dragon Boy. He has a website. He has a big one with wings that I want to get. They are cool. You can get them on Etsy for pretty cheap. Just look up 3D printed straw dragons. You'll find like so many stores that have them. I will say, don't trust the initial images, because I saw this one and it was like this half purple, half blue, and I was like, oh, that looks so great. And it said pink and blue. And I was like, that doesn't look pink, that looks more purple. But maybe he calls it pink. And then when it came, it was a lot more pink. Like, look at how pink that is versus purple. Like, it was purple. It was like a lighter version of this. And it came out like this. Looks like an easy way to leaven up mochi is to stuff it with something sweet, like jam or ice cream. Yeah, that is an easy way. Claire just ate hers with ice cream last night, like literally just together. But I'm wondering if there's a way to sweeten it when you're making it in the mochi maker. So like, because I almost want to add matcha powder, because I love adding matcha to stuff. Like, I make my own matcha lattes now. I've been doing that for about a month or two. Anyways, let me get back to, this is ADHD. This is truly ADHD ND right here. My players come in and they're like, man, you're so good at writing all these stories. How do you do it? And I'm like, Evil Bunny. Let's go. Apparently there's a horror film in the 80s that's literally about like evil rabbit bunnies coming after killing people. So that sounds fun. What was I going to do? Looming Shadow, Session 5. So currently they are fighting the aquatic, I'm just gonna call it Morpha because it's basically Morpha from Ocarina of Time. It's Morpha from Ocarina of Time. Let's be 100% honest. The aquatic Morpha. Last thing that happened, they tried to reason with it to let them pass and take the main quest item. The item has no name. I need to make a name soon. Has no name. But is an ancient magical goblet connected to the gods. They will use its power to consecrate a new holy site, creating a temple, which will be a political and magical barrier to protect their new magic AI named. They named it Wally. I wrote Parrier, not Barrier. So literally, what I did was they got this Eldunari, which is basically an AI. I'm just gonna call it an AI, and it told them like, oh, the thing that remember that 13-headed monster that came out? It's called the Zakura Bomb. I can bring it. Let me bring up the. Where is it? It's Zakura Bomb. The Zakura Bomb. It's the Abyssal Behemoth. It's a tyrant of the end times. It is a giant evil monster, and this is its symbol. its symbol is a mouth devouring the stars. And so then the AI told them, like, its designation was just a bunch of letters, or just a bunch of numbers, like literally just a string of numbers. And like, we're not gonna remember that. And he's like, and he was like, what do you want to name me? And one of my friends went, Wally. So its name is now Wally because, you know, the movie. And so now they have to. The next thing they were told is you need to either create a temple, a wizard's tower, a bastion, or they could make a what's the word for, not a store, a business, I guess. They could make a business on top of where it's being kept hidden. That way they can use it to either, if they make a business, they can get free revenue, and then they can use that to pay for an army to help protect the town when the Zakrabram comes. If they build a wizard's tower, they could use that to create new magics, to help create magic items. And especially if they make a half wizard's tower, half business, where it's a blacksmith shop, then they can make like magic armor and shit, and they can hire people to make that for them. Or they could make the bastion, which would help them learn more fighting maneuvers for their melee characters, or for their martial characters, new abilities like that, new team up techniques they could do. And again, you could mix that with any business, or mix that with the wizard's tower to like learn magic fighting abilities, you know, things like that. Or or a temple, which they went with, which will give you, you know, it'll give you followers, which will give you better faith with the town, so the town trusts you more depending on how you do it, things like that. And they decided to go with the temple because one of the players is a warlock and he worships the demons. So he wants I know what his plan is. He's not going to do this, I don't think, because it's up to all of them. They all have to equally decide what they do with it. But he's going to try and convince them to make a temple to his dark demon lord, because he's a warlock, and warlocks get their powers from some other entity that gifts some of its strength to them in return for who knows what. Obviously, they want to spread their influence, so making a temple to this evil demon would be a great idea, right? So I'm gonna write that down. Balthazar to a demon or devil. Did I call them demons or devils? Interchangeable in my world. There isn't really much of a difference besides, we'll just say it's like a title. Only the highest can be devils, whereas the low levels are just basic demons. You know. Looks like Night of the Lepus. That's the first thing I found on TV Tropes. What is that? Oh, you want to know a fun fact about TV Tropes? TV Tropes was created to point out tropes from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Not even kidding. There were things that would happen in Buffy the Vampire Slayer over and over and over that people liked, but would notice it constantly happened so much that they made a website just to document all the tropes in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And then that made other people be like, well, there's also stuff in this show, and this movie, and this book. Pixar, are we sending a letter for that name? Nah, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit if you use the name. So long as I don't try to sell anything like, oh, this is Wally, you know. If they tried to do that with everything, they'd fucking, like, they would not survive. They would lose all their money. I get why they did it with that one car wash. If you don't know the story, I'll tell you about that, chat. But it was stupid, but I understood why they did it. I disagree that they did it, but I could see the legal ability to do it. With this, there's no way. Night of the Left is a horror movie about giant mutant killer rabbits. Thank you. Somebody post that in the Discord. I need to remember that so that way I can tell Andrew about it. Did Buffy really have that many tropes? Apparently, yes. I've never watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but I've talked to a bunch of people who really love the show. I've watched a few reviews of the entire show. It apparently had a lot of tropes. Like, it was Buffy the Vampire Slayer was somehow both really good story building, but also the silliest show you will ever watch. Like, there's an episode about her mom dying and about the impacts of that on her as a human. And the title of the episode is literally just called The Body, because she finds her mom dead from a heart attack. And then a police officer comes in and they're like, don't move the body. And she's like, it's not a body, it's my mom. And then someone comes over and it's like, oh my God, I heard what happened. What should we do for her? And he goes to touch her. And they said, they said not to move the body. And now she's calling it the body. It's no longer her mom. It's just a body. That's a deep episode. Like I haven't even watched that episode, and it makes me want to watch the show for that episode. And then there are scenes where she's being mind controlled to kill a person who's like one room over, and she decides, I'm gonna use a fucking rocket launcher. Like, how do you have a show that's like, what the fuck? Even then, just mentioning a name is fine, as long as you don't try to use it to sell anything. Trademark law is complicated. Trademark law is very complicated. We can talk about that a bunch after this, Philip, but we got to get back to this. ADHD in the ear. So anyways, they decided to build a new holy site. Balthazar, I'm sure he wants to make a temple to his demon, his devil. I'm going to say patron. So first things first, what's going to happen in the fight? I already have the abilities of the creature down, and I have some other ideas that I'm going to implement as it goes in. Or I should say, how do they open? How does the fight with Morpha open? Like a scene. I also misspelled Morpha. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah. Went into a fallen church that got corrupted and fell into the sea. Swam past a giant shark. Then got into the temple, or I'm going to say church so it separates it in my head, and found a ghost. Kitchen chef lady. Her spirit has been trapped in this church, unable to move on. Balthazar did a ritual to release her spirit from the church. Doing so made her so grateful. She promised to become their personal chef at their new headquarters. They found an ancient magical shield in the dead priest's bed chamber. And then just okay. So that's what they do. Eventually, the Morpha. Oh wait, not magical shield. By plays with squirrels and healed his memory, so he can now remember his name. Plays with squirrels is actually the character's name because he has memory issues and all he remembers, and people start calling him Plays with Squirrels because they don't remember who he is. That reminds me, I should message him. Hey man, since you got your memories healed slightly by your new magical shield. And you now remember your name. What is your character's name? Question mark. Might use it soon. Evil laugh. Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh. Okay, so... And started a fight with it. Plays with squirrels is such a fun name. It is a fun name. I like it. He probably got it from the fact that his nickname in real life is Squirrel. And I gave it to him all the way back in high school. You know, I started quoting the Muppet movie guy at the same time. Great minds think alike. What can I say? All right. So it started with the Morpha literally taking one of its tentacles, because it has multiple tentacles instead of just one tentacle with the brain. It's multiple. It took one and went on their torch, just unlighting it. And I think what I'm going to do is have each player going to roll 1d8. Room. Octagon. Then, whichever number they roll, they start the fight in that area of the room. So that's how the fight will start, and then it'll kind of play out the way I have written down, which I'm not going to spoil for the rest of them. So if any of them see this, they'll know that they'll get split up. Now we're going to skip to the ending. Once they defeat the Morpha, I don't remember if I had a name for it. I think I have it written down somewhere, but it doesn't matter. They can enter the room with the chalice. They will see. Where is it? This symbol. Do you remember what this symbol is, chat? I mean, if you saw me Alt Tab, you know what I was doing. Alt Tab. You know what I mean. And it will be keeping the building together and the chalice in place. Goldfish memory kicking in, no idea. So you remember the giant evil monster I said showed up? This is the symbol of that monster. They're going to see like a magical rune of this creating like a barrier. Blocking them from getting to the chalice, and they have to tear it down, which means whoever put the chalice here worships the Zakrabram and used its magic to hold this in place. Or perhaps they're using the magic of the chalice to hold the Zakrabram in place. Which could it be? Which could it be? Maybe each time they do a good thing, it leads to their devastation. Anyways, the building will start falling apart, and that will activate a skill challenge. How difficult do we want to make this one? We don't want them to die here. And that would be really the... So they're going to have to win. But also... I guess their goal here is to get the chalice out. Right? Well, this isn't going to be a fight. This is after the fight ends. Right? So they've beaten the Morpha. They get to the back, the room that the Morpha was guarding. That's where they find the thing. They cut it open. They break the seal. They pull out the chalice. And then once they do that, the building's going to start going... And things are going to start falling from the sky. Or from the ceiling. And remember, they're in a building underwater. So you're going to see water start flooding in. Kind of like the ending of Wind Waker. Right before you fight Ganondorf, when he's like, I wish for the Hyrule to be drowned. And you see like the ocean sky that's being held up start cracking. And you see like big chunks of water just start flooding in. So it's going to end with... it's going to start with that. And the skill challenge is, how do they escape in time? What are they going to lose? I don't want them to lose their lives, because I don't want to kill the players. I feel like it would be really sucky if it's just like, oh, 3 bad die rolls and I'm dead. There's no challenge there. But at the same time, it is fun to have these like quick, just, okay, you do a thing. Let's see if you pass. You pass. Go to the next player. Do you do a thing? I do a thing. Cool. Let's see if you roll. You fail. Oof, that's rough. And it's not just instantly, if one of them fails, that person's dead. Let's say... There's still the shark outside. They recently got a bunch of money. Let's say for each failure, they lose 1 item in their bag or 10% of their gold. Yeah, I think that would work. So each failure lose of their gold or 1 in their bag. That would be like, oh fuck, okay. Once the party 3 failures, they will be stuck at sea and have to fight the giant shark again. Oh, maybe they can end up on an island? I don't really have an idea for an island. Wait, I have a better idea, because this one is... Nah, you know, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that as a skill challenge. I have a better one. Will fall apart, and they have to leave, not being able to search the rest of it. There we go. It's just gonna fall apart, so they can't search the rest of it. But it's not gonna be a major consequence to them. They'll escape with their lives. They'll get whatever loot they had. However, once they reach the surface. So a little metro escape sequence. Yes. Look, I am not a linguist. I don't know words like colapse. How do I even call apes? How does that work? I know, I'm just kidding, messing with you. Once they reach the surface of the water. So by the way, I forgot to mention that the town they had to get to find this church is a separate town from where the headquarters will be. So I'm gonna say, ooh, wait, I just had a genius idea. I'm gonna type it out first so I don't forget. You'll see a giant light from a fire in the nearby town. I'm gonna call it Salt Bite because it's a fishing town, and we'll do a Y. Salt Bite. Nah, we'll keep the E. Salt Bite. Because why not? When they get to town, it will be under attack from Urgles. Currently being ransacked. This is why the town is on fire. This would be to show off how dangerous for regular folks. Why walls and that explains. You need to get out, kitty? And roll. Do you need to get out? Oh, never mind. You're just grooming each other. I wish you guys could see this. I gotta get the kitty cam back online. I'm saying a collapsed building is spooky. Yeah, no, I figured it out. I just wanted to fuck around. So anyways, here's what I'm gonna actually have. They're gonna the building's gonna collapse on them. They're gonna escape as the water's falling on. I will do the skill challenge to have them separated. Actually, let's do the skill. Once they breach the water surface, they're going to see a bright light because it's nighttime now, and they're going to see a bright light coming from the shore, or the coastline, and in the town they were from. There, when they get there, it's going to be on fire. Urgles, which are basically my forms of orcs, are going to be ransacking the town, slaughtering villages, breaking things down, destroying just building after building, making people miserable. And excuse me. And they're gonna get there, and then it's gonna be a combat challenge. And this will act like a normal one. When they lose, take 1 damage. singular action turns. But instead of failure, meaning damage to themselves, it means a building collapses or an NPC is injured / killed. So these guys are adventurers. We're not gonna let them die, right? It would be dumb if they died just fighting some Rin. I mean, it could work, but I want it to be. What do they choose to do? They choose to help people. Do they choose to try and just attack the Urgles? Like, what is their role? So they're gonna get there. See, it's in chaos. They can choose to either find the civilians. Ooh, I should let them know to find civilians, put out fires, attack Urgles. Let's see. Urgles are attacking. Or flee. Is it FL? It's two E's, right? Flee? Yeah, I'll just say flee. So basically now they'll have a choice. Instead of it just being another, like, oh, we just fight some Urgles. There are a bunch of Urgles. You're not going to kill them all. But you could go choose to attack Urgles instead of helping, like, a mother and child. You could help, you could run to a burning building and try to put out the fires. You could just leave. You don't have to stay here. You can let the city burn, this town burn for all you care. It's not your problem. I'm going to let them make those choices. And then depending on the choices they make, those citizens will remember them. And maybe some of them will come with them to Wildfang. Maybe they'll stay home. Who knows what they'll do. And then once that's over, they can choose to take a long rest here or a full rest. If they take a full rest, there's a high chance they'll get attacked by Urgles again. Or they could lose their stuff, so I'll write that. Or full. Long rest, low chance of attack as the battle. Full rest, high, very risky as the Urgles and other beasts are bound to attack a weakened town with little to no defenses. When they get back to town, there will be a mob of villagers complaining to the council that they don't want this group to be leading them. And that they don't trust them. And there's going to be a big reason why they don't trust them. There's one big reason. Their party is too diverse. Okay, so they have one human who is a crazy guy who doesn't remember who he is. They found him in the forest and he just attacks things. He doesn't know diplomacy, so he's crazy. He's apparently their leader, right? Then they have two demonkin, right? Demonkin are not trusted. They literally look like demons. They're known for being extremely violent, and monsters. Not, no, I shouldn't say extreme. Well, they're known for that. But really what it is Demonkin in my world have this like addiction. Each one has a different addiction they're addicted to. It could be tobacco, it could be alcohol, it could be sex, it could be, just tasty food. Like maybe they just really like pie. Whatever it is, they're addicted to having that. And when they don't get that for a certain amount of time, there's a thing in their body that makes them go feral until they get that addiction. Most have learned to curb it. Some haven't. Some of them, their addiction is violent. There are a lot of demonkin whose addiction is violence, and it comes from their demon bloodline. Violent, survival of the fittest sort of genes. And this gives them a really bad reputation in the world, to where they really are unhappy with everything that goes on in their life, to where they're persecuted by most people. People do not trust them. They see them no different from Urgles or goblins or any other monster. Or owl bears. They will kill, but they can pretend to be humans. Think of the way they look at demons in Freerin, only it's not 100% true that the demons are evil. It's just partially true. It's just a surprising amount of demonkin are actually just kind of evil or messed up. And we have 2 of them in their party. They have 2 of them. One of those demonkin, by the way, has a giant crossbow that has a dragon head on it that talks to him, and he tries to bring blood to a garden that he pays money for, where he pours blood on the ground. That looks like a sacrificial ritual. What are they doing? Why? This is messed up. They must be evil. Then they have an angelborn, a fallen angelborn, who is a warlock, who worships some sort of dark patron. And the villagers know he does. 1 minute, I should talk to Claire. So then the next one is that they have a they have a fallen angelborn. Now people already, they don't like the demonkin because they're monstrous and evil. People don't really like angelborn in my world, because the angelborn are like the Roman, the ancient Roman army of like 500, 400 BC, where they were conquering and controlling nation after nation, and the nations that are controlled don't really like that, because they don't like being controlled by some over dominant force. And then the other nations are scared of them coming for them next. So so whenever people see Angelborn, they see the Sandalith Empire, and so they already don't like the Angelborn, because they're like, oh, he's just a spy who wants to take over our town or our village or our city. They're not trusted. They're not hated like they are like the demonkin, where it's like, oh my god, they're an evil monster, but they're not trusted because they're like, oh, they just work for that evil government who's going to try and ransack us and take us over and make us part of their country. So they're more scared of him. They don't trust him, and then they're scared of the demonkin. On top of that, he's a fallen angelborn. So in their minds, it's like, oh, even they can't trust him. If the people we can't trust him, why should we? And now the real reason that fallen angelborn are, there are lots of different reasons why an angelborn can be fallen. It might be because they're a bad person, might not be that. It might just be some weird genetic issue. But they are seen as second-class citizens compared to normal angelborn. In angelborn society, they're actually almost seen as rejects to the gods. Like, oh, the gods gave you all this power, but you failed. I just noticed a stain on my beautiful mouse pad. I need to wash it. Anyways, so they really don't trust him, and they don't think they can trust him. Plus, he worships some sort of evil devil god. Maybe he's never said who he doesn't say which god he worships. So you have that in the party, and then finally a wood elf. Now wood elves aren't hated like the others, but a lot of people don't really trust wood elves because wood elves don't trust anybody else. The wood elves want to keep nature as serene as possible. They want to live with nature, and they see some of the wood elves, especially the older wood elves, see the way that humans and dwarves live, where they build things out of stone and they cut down forests as like unnatural and wrong. So they kind of look down on them, which makes, and all elves look down on non-elves or other elves for different reasons. They kind of look down, so it makes them resentful of the elves. So now so now you have a wood elf who they're like, we don't trust her because her people don't really like us, and wood elves are known for killing people just for going too far into their forest. You have a fallen angelborn. It's like, oh, the angelborn are trying to control us, and this guy's a fallen one. That means they don't trust him. That means he did something wrong, so we doubly don't trust him. Then there's two demonkin who are like, demonkin are already not trusted, and then one of them is making a blood garden. I forgot to mention Inky Cap. Inky Cap is like a child who is from the Fae realm. People don't trust the Fae because the Fae have weird rules that don't make sense. But she's also a beast human, a beastkin. And the beastkin are half animal, half human people. And they're like, not a lot is known about them. They're already half animal, so it's like, oh, they just look like animal. They think of them as animals. And then on top of that, a lot of beastkin are kind of violent or feral because they're beast-like side. So we have this bat beastkin child who's from the Fae realm. It's like, oh, we can't trust her for that reason. So again, wood elf, demonkin who has a blood garden and talks to a dragon crossbow, a fallen angelborn who worships some sort of devil or demon, a beastkin girl who's from the Fae realm. And then their final one is a human, but he's from a human from another country. He doesn't remember who he is, so he acts kind of feral. And he has attacked a lot of people in the past because he doesn't have his memories, so he went feral. So it's this group of adventurers that nobody really has a reason to trust, but suddenly they're told they have to listen to them, and they have to trust them with whatever these secret magical artifacts, and they're going to build a temple? Are they going to build a temple to some demon? Are they a demon worshipping cult? Are they're going to start sacrificing people? This is what's going through the villagers' minds. Thanks for following Blood Moon Sam's. He doesn't worship any god. He worships dog because dyslexia. I like that. That's pretty funny. Anyways, again, so there are all these reasons not to trust these adventurers. They're being told they have to trust them and they have to follow them, and they're going to build a temple, and they're not going to do anything wrong. Even though one of them is already building a blood garden. That's literally what he calls it, and he's building a blood garden. Nobody knows why he's building it. That's fucking sus. So there's going to be all these adventures, and I'm going to write down why they don't trust him. Wood elf. Reasons why the villagers are mad. And don't trust the party. Wood elf. Seen as stuck up, and they kill people for entering their forest. What's her name? Valari. Demonkin. Literally people who are part demon. Many are violent. What's his name? Steve. Oh, yeah, his name is Steve Not Evil. Also Demonkin. Has a giant crossbow with a dragon head. collects blood for a blood garden. That's fucking sus. That's a guy who's definitely the hero. Who's next? Inky Cap. Beastkin. Mysterious half man, half animals. Most are said to be violent. I should say believed. Some species are. And believe in survival of the fittest. Also, she is from the Fae realm, where weird shit happens, and kids are sometimes taken by fairies and the like. Beastkin, mysterious half. Bad girl. I'll say bad girl because she's a half bat, half girl. Okay, so Looney, Valari, Steve Not Evil, Inky Cap, Balthazar. Fallen Angelborn. People don't like Angelborn because they are trying to conquer. Angelborn. Fallen are distrusted by almost everyone. How they are second class because they are second class citizens in Angelborn society for wrongdoing. So let's see, Inky Cap, Valar. Scrolls. Crazy human man from another country / continent was very violent. I'd say these are pretty solid reasons not to trust them. Right? Oh, and also, when they came back from their last mission, suddenly there's a giant evil monster shooting a green laser to the sky. Where they came from. Did they release it? Do they worship it? Is this church gonna be one to an evil demon? Or devil? Or whatever that thing is? Alright. Not one of the gods. That's good. Real quick before I continue, chat. Out of these characters, who do you think was made by Andrew? He's one of my players. Valari, Luna, Steve Not Evil, Inky Cat, Baltazar, or Plays with Squirrels. Kind of gives me the vibe of the attack on Lake Town and the Hobbit. I like it. I don't remember the attack on Lake Town. But I'm glad you like it. Thank you very much. So this is what we have. What? You think Andrew would make a character called Steve Not Evil? No. No, he would never. Yeah, that's his. I'm gonna say Balthazar. Inky Cap is probably my second choice. No, it was Steve Not Evil. So yeah, these are going to be things that the town villagers are going to bring up when the PCs get to town. How they will. This is just something I'm assuming he wants to do. There's no proof, but I believe he probably does. When the people how they will prove their innocence. If they saved X villagers, then they will get a reputation bonus from the other town to calm see if they start getting attacked, accused like, oh, they just want to kill us, they got 2 demonkin, that's probably a wood elf, the wood elves probably want to attack us now, the angel born is probably coming, I heard he worships some sort of devil, that like if they start listing off all these things and the villagers show up from the previous town that they just saved or, tried to save, they're going to say, that's going to help them in their case. If they don't save any villagers, it's going to be really hard to prove themselves. The temple they make outcome of how the village perceives them. Depending on now, what kind of in-game penalties can we give them to make those who just play the game for the combat, right? How do we penalize them in-game? There's one method I like using. Good karma. Bad karma. They get an extra 10% to their monthly costs for all PCs for each point So this is the first one I can think of. It's like they either lose more money per month, because I actually have a whole chart of how much money they lose, they have to pay per month. So here, I'll bring it up actually, because I think it's a really cool chart. It took me a while to make it. Where is it? I call it the downtime in-game tax. So basically, the way it works is there are different lifestyles that they can try and live, and then each month they'll have to pay money for that lifestyle, and then based on their intelligence modifier, they have to. It costs either 10% more or costs 10% less, because stupid people spend their money on dumb things. Right? Like in the real world, a good example of this is people who, they get their paycheck and they spend all of it at the weekend at the bar. Friday night, their paycheck is gone. They're like, oh, I have no money. Well, you spend it all on drinking at the bar without saving any of it. You don't even save 10%. You spend everything that you don't need at the bar. Or people who always buy DoorDash instead of, for one meal a week. Or, like me and Claire, we used to spend so much money on DoorDash, and I'm not trying to shame anybody, but it is like you are losing so much money you could be saving, basically. Then there's you could be financing like a really nice luxury car, because you're like, oh, I want the nicest, newest car. When you could get a car that is half the price and is just as decent, maybe not amazing, but it's just as nice to be in. For half the price, saves you so much. So the intelligence modifier now becomes really important in my games, because you could be losing a lot of that gold you find. Hannon here mentioned people who spend their entire paycheck on anime bunny girl figurines. Yuki, you don't need me to mention it. You already know that you have a sickness and you need help. You already know. Okay? You watch anime. There's something wrong with you. And that's why there's something wrong with me. But anyways, so the way it works in my world is each week you'll have to there's these they'll have to live somewhere. Are they gonna live in an apartment? Are they gonna buy a house? Are they gonna be able to have to live in an inn, or stay? If they wretched is basically you're sleeping outside, basically, and so you have all the human feces, piss, animal stuff. All of that is just touching you all the time. So while you're sleeping, you have a 1 in 4 chance of getting exhaustion, because you're not healthy. You're getting sick. I'm using the exhaustion system from DC20, where when you get to each one, gives you a -1 roll to all your D20 rolls, and then once you get to 6, you just flat out die. And the more you're basically sleeping outside, you're gonna have a higher chance of, like, you're getting sick, you're exhausted, you're not really sleeping well. So you're sleeping outside. Squalid is like you're sleeping in like a half-star bed, like think of the dirtiest apartment you can think of. It's one step above being outside. You're basically sleeping in a homeless shelter, where you're sleeping with a bunch of people. They're all touching you. They're coughing on you. It's really nasty, but it's slightly better than being outside. Poor is like, you have a small little room. You keep it just clean enough. You don't really get really good food, but at least people aren't coughing on you. You're not sleeping outside. It's a little bit better. So, modest is, you got a decent place. You get some good food. You get meat once a week, which is better than most people. Actually, I'd say maybe once a month. You can actually eat some meat now. You don't have just like cabbage soup, which is just warm cabbage water every night. You can eat meat. You could have a little cheese with it, maybe a little bit of bread. Things are, you can have a hot meal at night. It's not terrible. But, you know, it's a modest living. Comfortable is basically, you've got a big house. You eat meat once a week. You are set. You are set. You can have a fireplace going if it's too cold. You can open your windows to let in fresh air. You know, the place stays clean. You get good food. Wealthy is you're an aristocrat. You're a rich noble, basically at that point. And then there's aristocrat, which is literally, it's an aristocrat. You're an aristocrat. That one is you eat meat with every meal. You can have the finest wines, the finest meads. You're good. And these ones, the lower it is, the more likely chance you are to get exhausted. It gets less likely. And then at wealthy, you don't get exhausted every week. There's no chance. And at aristocrat, you actually get extra HP for your next mission. Just for being, just because you have the money. Let's see, Weatherman, Waterville, Maine. The weather in Maine is, in the United States of America, is 64.9 degrees Fahrenheit. Feels like 64.9 degrees Fahrenheit. Thundery outbreaks possible. Wind is blowing from the south at 9.4 kilometers per hour, or 5.8 miles per hour. 97% humidity, visibility at 1 mile, and air pressure is 1,020 whatever hectopH. Whatever. Slightly better because at least you're out of the elements. Exactly. And then I went into ChatGPT and had it do all the math because I was not going to be able to do the math for each of these. And it's literally just, what is 5% of this? And it just... So now I have a sheet that if they're like, okay, I'm going to live at comfortable and I have a -3 intelligence, it costs me 3 platinum. 3 platinum per month. Right? But if you're comfortable with a +3 intelligence, it only costs you 1 platinum. Not bad. I think I should fix this up because this doesn't... Right. But then if you're like... poor, you got a +3 intelligence. It's going to cost you 10 silver. 10 silver per month. Modest is going to cost you some gold. And then, of course, wretched is nothing because you're literally living outside. So I have this whole system set up. And then on top of that, if they have bad karma or good karma with the town, depending on how much good karma, it's going to go up by another %. So I think we got a good outline. I mean, look at what we've wrote. That's a lot of text. So I think we got a solid plan for our next session in 2 weeks. Next Friday, we might, from now to next Friday, I'll probably tackle it a bit, flesh some stuff out. I'll fix up that, system I have. Until then, thank you guys. I think this is a good place to end it. We've got a bunch of stuff. We checked the alerts. The alerts seemed to be working. I can test them again, but you guys saw them work. I saw them work. Let's pray they work on Wednesday. Until then, guys, stay safe, stay smart, stay healthy. Be thankful for everything and everyone in your life. We will see you all next Monday for some more Expedition 33. I cannot wait to... Let's go. We finally got past Renoir, I think is his name. So we've got some more of the story to get to. Lol, are they? Are they what? I don't know. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Be thankful for everything and everyone in your life. And the #1 rule here in the Dragon's Den: don't believe in yourself. Believe in me, who believes in you. Bye-bye, chat.